The Kaynichole After Dark is always sponsored by Always Keep Your Crown Straight. Okay. Now, this is an amazing hair oil. It helps with hair loss, hair growth, edges, scalp health. It has coconut oil, avocado oil, Jamaican black castor oil, and so much more. But it's great, and you need to check it out. You can find it on Etsy. Okay, so make sure that you get that. Now, for our 3 topics for the night, okay? So we are talking about, one topic is, should you know when dating or in marriage, either one, but we're going to talk about dating mainly, is should you involve yourself in your person's medical history, medical affair, and everything like that, because we take our medical advice very seriously, very important. We keep a lot of stuff to the chest. People don't even like to share what's in their medicine cabinet, right? So how do you feel about your partner being a part of your medical information? You know, not just being your emergency contact, but actually knowing your medical information, like dating, not marriage, but in the first start of dating, about giving your medical information. The second topic is running the red light. Now, for those, like I had talked about it, for those that know about running the red light, that is having sex during a woman's menstrual cycle. How y'all feel about that? And thirdly is, like I said, this is a very sensitive topic, but if you were pregnant and your partner not wanting to have the baby, kind of stress you out into a miscarriage. Okay, so those are the topics that we're on tonight. So let's start talking about them, right? Okay, so let me start off with the more laid back topic, right? Which is running the red light, right? So I have heard so many thoughts and comments about running the red light, having sex with a woman during her menstrual cycle. Now, what I was recently informed was that it's also vampiric, you know, if you're eating a woman during that time. I find that disgusting, first of all. I don't even think that would be a place that I would even go, because if you know what that is, like, why would you want to ingest that? You know, I just don't understand that. That's a little disgusting for me. It's not like it's the placenta, you know, where if you eat the placenta, you actually gain something from it. If you're eating a woman on her cycle, I don't think that there's any real nutrients in that. You know, that's like eating when a woman swallows a man's cum, like you said, there's protein in it, but I doubt there is that much that's going to give you really like substance, you know. So anyway, I know a few. Well, I mean, I did a kind of like a unofficial poll, shall we say, and found out that a lot of men do not mind actually having sex with a woman during her cycle. However, they do have a thought on how much they can handle, right? So, and some said that, you know, they'll do it unsheathed, and some will do it, you know, sheathed with the condom on, you know. I guess it all depends on the preference, you know, of how long you've been in a relationship with that woman. If or not you would use a condom while she's on her monthly, or if you'd be like, let's just go to town and not even worry about a condom or anything else, right? So actually, what made me actually even come up with this, or like not even come up with it, but think about this topic. But there is a book by Sister Soldier, and in that part of the book, this woman, I have to find the book, but I think it's Midnight or Sister something. It's not Sister Soldier, it's something else. But anyway, the husband, I guess, to show his love or his relationship, his closeness with his wife, right? Now this is his wife, right? He puts down a towel and he engages in having sex with her during her cycle, right? Again, hello everyone. Welcome to Kaynichole After Dark. We are talking about the first topic, running the red light, having intercourse with a woman during her cycle. Is that something that you're interested in? That's something that you would do? It's a hell no, get the hell away, or what's up? You know, there's never a time, 365 days she can get it, you know? So yeah. So I was told unofficially that certain men are okay with that, and it's cool. So when I read this book, and it was like very intimate, and I was like, wow, like the way they described it, or way she described it in her book, was very like, it was sensual, but it was like a passionate, like a closeness and everything like that, and them like becoming one. Now, I don't know if a man or a woman, when they're having sex during her cycle, if they believe in formulating that closeness, that tightness, but I find it to be, because you know what, actually, side note, when I was working at this place in Brooklyn, and I would have the worst cramps, and a woman was like, why don't you just, you know, you got a man, you know, let him bang that out, let him knock it out, you know, and take that pain away. And I was like, excuse me, ma'am? Excuse me? Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. It's like she asked me, like, if a man can do it in my butt, because I was like, no, I don't see that. That's disgusting. That's messy and nasty to me. But, like I said, some men and women get down on it. What do y'all think? You know? Like I said, I always post a clip of this in the on IG, so you can more than, you know, check it out. And also, I want to let you guys know that last week's episode is up on YouTube now. So if you want to check it out, be sure to check it out. It's on YouTube. Just World of Kaynichole After Dark. You can make sure you check it out. So, not every the Kiora says, not every time, laugh out loud, but in passionate and intimate occasions. Okay. So I definitely understand that. So you're saying that you would definitely engage in intercourse during her cycle if it was that a passionate time or intimate time. And I guess that would be between you and your partner, no. But for me, I just couldn't see it. You know, I just think it's just way too messy for me even to fathom. So I personally am going to walk my way out of the intercourse during the menstrual cycle moment, but to each his own, definitely, and committed. Of course, like I said, that's what I was thinking. You know, I wouldn't just do that with some random person. You definitely want to do that with somebody that you've been with for a while. Like I said in the book, he was with his wife, you know, which is way different, right? Than just doing it with some random, right? So that's like seriously important. So okay, now since we've talked about that, and certain people have shared, okay, let's talk about the medical history. Right now, my question was, should you talk about your medical history? Should you have medical conversations? Should you be talking about that within, you know, the dating period? I know when you're serious and everything like that, of course, we'll have that conversation. But how quickly should you have that conversation? Me, I'm kind of a weirdo. I have that conversation. I'm not going to lie. I've had that conversation with people in 2 weeks. You know, what is your health concerns? What do we need to know? What do we need to do? I'm kind of that person. I want to know your history. I want to know your life. Especially if I'm going to be in a relationship with you and see you in the long run, I gotta know what I gotta know what I'm ready for. You know what I'm gonna be like. If your family is commercial break, gotta get rid of that. So I'm sorry, this is starting to slip. Let me take this off because my hair was wet. Oh shit, that was my bottle. Oops. So, Okay. Doesn't it look so clean? Ugh, it looks so clean. And it smells so good too. Oh, yes. Yes. Gotta love a clean hair. Sooner rather, the cure says sooner than later. Yes. So, okay. So back to the conversation, right? Should you talk to your person that you're dating, your significant other, about medical history, medical stuff, prior to marriage? Like I said, I kind of cover that whole thing in the first 2 weeks, kind of thing like that. Like, I don't really date to date. Like, I date for a purpose. Actually, I've been that way since I was 16. It's really bad. Like, I was definitely, but this is not about me. Let's not lose focus. Let's not lose focus. So, excuse me. So I would date guys, and I would, tell me about your family, stuff like that. And sometimes naturally would come up, about someone's cholesterol or diabetes running into the family and stuff like that. If a family member had cancer, So I'm a person that would like to know those things, especially if I'm considering having a life with you. Gotta know what's in store, and I really do believe in those conversations. Like, if I'm dating a guy, I'm like, when's your next appointment, babe? When's your dentist appointment? When's this? What's happening? And I feel like you should share that information too. Like I said, some people are really self-conscious about their medical history. They don't want to talk about those things. They don't even want you to go into their medicine cabinets. They're like, baby, I will tell you when you are ready to know. But I just feel that if you're dating someone, especially if you're engaging in sex with them, that it is basically imperative that you know their history. And you know what you're getting yourself into, because nothing worse than a person blindly going into something and not knowing what's going on. That's the worst way you can go. So I never advise that ever. You want to know what you're getting yourself into. So Night Angel Exodus says, sure. So I believe in transparency. So, if you're going through something, everything like that, let your partner know. I think that's the easiest way and fastest way to know if they're going to be supportive. Honestly. Too much emphasis. And that they're going to be supportive, because who wants to deal with someone that is going to, and yes, this is not a guarantee, right? Because anybody can be like, you know what, I'm up, I'm ready, I'm done with this, let me move on. But at least they have an idea of what they're getting themselves into. Like, if there's, say for instance, cancer runs in your family, right? Breast cancer, right? You want to know that if you have to cut off one of your breasts, that this man is not going to be, oh my goodness, like, I can't even imagine the insensitivity of a certain man that wouldn't be able to deal with his woman having her mastectomy, basically, is what it is. So that guy that can't handle that emotionally is going to down his woman and say that she's less of a woman. He might look at other women that have two breasts, just the whole thing of it. So I think that a person should definitely have that conversation so they know what they're getting into and what could possibly happen, because, I'd rather know before I'm in the situation. Just me. I would want to know before I get in the hospital bed that you're not going to be a person that I can count on, and it's hard to find people to count on these days, genuinely and truly, that you can find someone that is going to be with you 100%. And when you find that person, hold on tight, because that is something special. That is something rare. Let me tell you. So yes, where are we on time? Okay, it's still super early. So hey, what's up? So let me just take a quick commercial break and let y'all know that last week's episode is currently on YouTube. Go to the World of Kaynichole or Kaynichole After Dark. You should be able to find it on YouTube, but the channel is called World of Kaynichole. And of course, my Kaynichole After Dark is always sponsored by Always Keep Your Crown Straight. So do get yourself a bottle. This is the 4-ounce bottle. It helps with growth, okay, with thinning. This is an impeccable product, okay. I started making this, and then I started selling it like years later. Many moons later did I decide to start selling this, but it is an awesome product. It comes in 4 different scents. Yeah, I've been using it on my hair forever. Like, I was losing all my edges and everything like that. Like, it was bad, and it came back due to this baby right here. What's the fragrances? Curious. Well, there's a citrus pine. That is the most masculine scent that I have. It smells delish. Then there's vanilla, which is, I would say like a primary favorite, across the board. It's smooth. Then I have my frankincense, which is different from the frankincense that we usually know of. This is an Indian frankincense, so it has an earthy smell too, but it's a lot lighter than the frankincense that you might be used to. And lastly, we have it's a vanilla bougat, but it's like mixed with like a berry scent. So it's a vanilla with a berry. It's nice. I would say it's more feminine, but it's still nice. For the men, I always would choose vanilla or the citrus pine, like, mwah, magnifique. Citrus pine, definitely, if you are an earthy, woodsy man, that is the smell that you need to be. Vanilla, if you just, clean cut, feeling yourself nice, then vanilla is what you need to do. And everything else you can explore. So definitely check this out. It's amazing. And I don't just say that because I made it. Like, seriously, I had tested people and everything like that. Night Angel Exodus says, I love this. It's just, yes, it is a very masculine scent. So I do like it for that. Okay. Now, on to the serious topic of the night. And that's why we save it for last, because I had mentioned it first. But then I thought, because it's a sensitive subject, let me take it back. Let me take it back. And we'll save it for the evening. So, in true fashion, let's talk about it, okay? So, recently, and I do not follow these people, okay? I do not follow this. I do not follow ratchetness, but I do take a hit. Moscato? Oh, no, this is a Pinot Grigio by Barefoot, okay? Thank you. Yes, and this is delightful. You know what? We need to refill the glass, right? It's right here. That's no good. That's no good. We're going to fill it up. We are going to add a little bit more of the Barefoot Pinot Grigio. We're going to say it with a little funky accent. Pinot Grigio. We might as well finish the bottle. Hi, Black Caesar. Welcome. Glad you're back. Ooh. Oh, well. Anyway. Let me take a sip. Half empty. Exactly. You gotta have it full. I'm trying to be more positive, a glass half full kind of person, So, yeah, while I sip. Anyway, so let's get to it. So, like I said, I don't follow these people. I don't follow ratchetness like this, but sometimes it can be somewhat entertaining. So, as I'm sure many of you are aware, that Blueface and Krishan Rock are having a baby, and he has been very adamant that he does not want it, this, that, and third. But I seen in a recent interview that he might be coming around, since they're talking about baby names, and him and Krishan is still, together. So I see them trying to make it work, and kudos to them, because it's 18 years, 21 years, actually, if you're trying to send them to school and everything like that. So it's 21 years, that you got to deal with this person. So you got to make it count. Make sure that y'all can co-parent together, figure it out the best way you can. So, he had posted excuse me, in his stories that she doesn't want to have an abortion. He's been promoting for her to have an abortion, but you know, if she gets stressed out and he has a miscarriage, then oh well. Kind of hinting to the fact that he could or be intentionally stressing her out while they were fighting and arguing so that she would miscarry. So, of course, I found that to be an interesting topic because like I said, I grew up with guys. I have sisters, I have a younger brother, but I was a tomboy, so I hung out with the fellas and everything like that. And they used to talk crazy about if they had gotten a girl pregnant or whatever, how they push her ass down the stairs and this, that, and the third. Like, it was nuts. Like, the conversations I would hear as a younger female with hanging out with older guys, be like, y'all look fucking crazy. Like, y'all want to cause some damage to some female for real. So it was very alarming. So when I heard him say this, it kind of triggered that kind of thinking, and that like there are men out here that don't give a fuck. Like, they don't give two shits. Like, it could be their seed, it could not be, but either way, we're not figuring it out. I'm not taking care of anything. Your ass is being pushed down the stairs. Something's going to happen to you. Don't know what it is, but something's going to happen. So I was like, what do y'all think about that? How do y'all feel about that? And I was having a conversation because I usually, you know, pick people's brains while before the topic. And they were telling me that the person is just evil, you know, is just evil. And I was just like being devil's advocate. And I'm like, definitely morally, that's fucked up, you know, saying like you gonna push somebody down the stairs or you're gonna stress somebody to the mental anguish that, you know, their body can't even carry the fetus, that they're just gonna have a miscarriage. That's pretty fucked up as a person. I'm spinning here. So, you know, but I'm like, well, if a guy says, right, that he doesn't want to have this baby, right, and she's forcing it amongst him, right, she could potentially just stress herself out, right, because a lot of these women, and like I said, I am an advocate for the fellas, you know, because I've seen certain things, and I'm not gonna, my species of female we can be fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, we can be fucked up individuals. Men can be fucked up too. It goes both ways. But I'm just saying, a lot of the times, a female will pigeonhole a man into something and like, you know, lock his arm into it or whatever, and like, you're gonna do what I say. You're gonna do what I say. You know, go do what I say. And you know, you can't be like that. You know, it might look fun and kiki because you on kiki with your girls and be like, oh, yo, I got my man on the tightest leash. You hear me? When I say bark, he says, how loud should I do that shit? But that's not cute. That's just not cute. So when a man feels that his back up is against the wall, well, anybody, right? They're going to act out. And I've seen that actually happen. I've actually seen a woman get pushed down the stairs to you know, to cause her to have a miscarriage. I've seen people put stuff in people's drinks and stuff like that to cause a miscarriage. Like, I've seen some wild shit, you know, that, you know, people have done to try to get the upper hand. So, shit is wild. So, because I'm talking about my personal experiences. I don't know if y'all have anything to say or share on this topic, but I think that it's terrible that somebody would want to stress somebody out into miscarriage, or, you know, well, let me rewind, because I said that a woman can stress herself out to miscarriage, right? So a lot of times, and that's part of, like I said, the stronghold kind of thing. Is it forced though? The Cure says, is it forced though? Takes two to tango, Mr. Menta. Yes, it definitely takes two to tango. You know, men are more calculated. Are you? What do you mean? You saying, am I a calculated person? I'm a Taurus. I'm damn straight and calculated. But make more calculated risk. I guess so. You know, I think it's about what you do not to get caught, right? So, stress is going to be there, right? It's going to be there regardless. You know, we naturally deal with stress because there's good stress and there's bad stress, right? So, and they say stress can kill you, right? So, it's like, I didn't push her. I didn't put anything in her drink. I just didn't answer my phone when she needed me to take her to her prenatal appointments. I decided I wasn't going to come to the baby shower. Fuck that. She's asking me about her birthing plan. I don't give two shits about that. I'm not answering my phone. I don't care. You could have it outside in the street for all I care. Do you? You know, when you giving responses like that, and a woman, especially if it's her first child, she is going to be feeling away. She's definitely going to be looking for the support and everything like that. So the lack of support is definitely going to be stressful. And I think that is what is the main stress for a woman, is that she's not going to get the support that she needs from the guy that she had the child with, right? So I think a man not providing the support is the biggest stressor for the female. And I think that's what Blueface was kind of alluding to. Not saying that he was personally gonna have her have a miscarriage, but that, you know, just not being active is going to stress a female out, because, you know, usually the woman wants the baby, you know, and she wants you to be on board. And if you're not on board, she wants to make you on board, you know, try to find a way to be on board. And I'm sure it went viral with the guy that had like 14 kids or whatever, you know, guys saying like, yo, I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to help support and everything like that. And that can be very stressful, going to court. All of that can be very stressful for a person. And I think that it can inevitably, you know, do something to the fetus. So ballsy plan. That's all I got to say. That's a very ballsy plan to want to have, to stress somebody out into miscarriage. Now, so y'all have anything to share about that? Because I, fortunately, have never been pregnant. I've never had to go through that. Like I said, for me, it's been the opposite. I've had to dodge the dick, because I've had guys put holes in condoms. I've had guys tell me that it was the morning after pill, and it didn't look like it was. It looked like an Ambien. Like, it was just like crazy shit that a person can do for either reason, trying to get you pregnant or, you know, to keep you from getting pregnant. Like I said, I was on the end of like saying, like, trying to be like, no, like, for me, I was so like scared of guys. Like, I would like play with the condom, like make sure that it didn't break or anything like that. Like, I was so like crazed, and that is stress. Like, I didn't want to have sex anymore because it was so stressful, because I wasn't sure like if I could trust the guy that I was with, you know, even though we're in a relationship and everything like that. Guys would see the family I came from, or they would see the quote unquote money that they would think, you know, and everything like that, and they'd be like, yo, I'm gonna get sure you pregnant or knock that shit up, you know. And I'm just like, yeah. So we were very scared and cautious as a younger person and stuff like that. That's why we went on a super long hiatus. I'm sorry, Kior had said that he had a question a while ago. What's the question? Oh, you're saying what is the question for you guys? The question is, how could you see someone doing that, or how do you feel about someone that is stressing a woman into miscarriage, because that's possible, you know, for a person to do, you know. Like I said, all the topics that I discuss are relationship based and deal with different, you know, sides of it. Like I said, there's two sides to every story, and I want this platform is for us to be able to come together and be able to see each other's sides, and for me to also show that the fellas need love out here. You know, y'all be going through it. Y'all be going through it, whether it be home life, work life, girlfriend life, and stuff like that, or just dealing with the community. Like, y'all constantly going through the stress, going through the ringer. And not that our black women aren't going through it either, because we definitely are, and we need to support each other. That's basically what it is, that we're both going through our silent wars, and that we need to learn how to support each other. And I feel that oftentimes we lack the ability to really have empathy for each other, and not trying to like one up each other's grievances or stress or brokenness, you know, because you know we have a tendency to do that, you know, who's more broken than the other person, and we both need to just lie on our swords and say, like, we're both broken and we both need to build each other up, you know. And the world's a broken place, right? So, and we looking for fixers. So yeah, I just feel like it's important that we look out for each other. So this platform is to show that there's, you know, the degree of separation is not that divided, you know. So again, quick commercial break. To share that Kaynichole After Dark is every Wednesday at 10 p.m. If you haven't seen episodes, I'm working on it. They are uploaded on Kaynichole After Dark on My World of Kaynichole on YouTube, so make sure you check that out. Also, again, check out Always Keep Your Crown Straight, Crown and Beard Oil. It is amazing. Comes in 4 different scents. Helps with hair growth. Helps with texture. Helps with scalp health. This little baby is amazing. I love it. And I use it, and my brother uses it. His girlfriend uses it. Like, mad people use it. I'm just trying to get it out there. I'm really trying to, you know, push it out here. So check it out. I do have coupon codes, so if you are interested in purchasing, I can give you one of my discount codes so that you can try it for a cheaper amount. Also, but I do have the 1 ounce bottle that is for $6. So if you want to just try it out, you can get the one for $6. Okay. So, we have actually covered our topics earlier because you guys didn't want to really interact with me today. And I understand. I get it. It's Wednesday. Sometimes we're just, like I said, it's the middle of the week. We're trying to de-stress. We're trying to relax and everything like that. And I'm trying to have y'all think, right? And do work, right? With this. Okay, my hair is almost completely, still a little damp. But, yeah. So I wash my hair once a month. And it was that time. So it's nice and long. Look at the growth. Like, seriously. Like, it's all I've used. I look like an Afghan right now. This is the only thing that I've used, and it does amazing on my hair. Just the health of it. Like, my hair has never been so healthy. And people get shocked about it all the time. They're like, is your hair this or your hair that? Like, no. I've been growing it for 7-8 years. I was having hair trouble. It was thinning. I was losing my edges, breakage, all of that. And now hardly any. Like, I use my hair oil and it reduces shedding. So it's definitely something, like I said, that you should check out. It's amazing. But again, I just want to do an overview over the topics again. We discussed having sex with a woman on her menstrual cycle. How do you feel about that? And we discussed that, it's definitely a thing. But more people are interested in doing it when you are in a deep and committed relationship, to pass fluids. Also, we want to encourage safe sex. So again, if you do want to know the person's status, which leads me into the other topic, which we had discussed, which was talking about medical information. Did you want to have your partner knowing your medical information? And if you're all having intercourse, which now we are in this climate where when people are even talking, they just meet in the club and then they're jumping each other's bones. And I mean, that's all cool and dandy if y'all have a conversation first. And the thing is about being safe and having safe sex, because again, that can lead to getting pregnant by a person that you don't want to have a kid with, and them having to decide your fate, your the rest of your life, and who wants to have someone else's fate in someone else's hands, your fate in someone else's hands, and that's why people do dastardly things like, cause a person to have a miscarriage, or shoot her while she's pregnant, or all this other wild stuff, because they can't fathom them being a parent, and it's a shame that people would go through such circumstances to not have to raise a child, or for a child that they did not want to be in the world. I mean, a child is a blessing. Not every person can actually get pregnant. Not every woman that, every woman can have a baby. Some of them, a lot of women are having to go to fertility specialists and stuff like that. So to think about the women that are trying to get pregnant, and you get a woman pregnant and you don't even want it, and trying to figure out ways for her to get rid of it. You gotta take it into perspective, and I think that's the thing that we kind of don't do. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Kaynichole After Dark, where we talk about relationship topics and things that could potentially be important to you, either now or down the road. But I just think that it's imperative that we think about the actions that we have, because they all like roll into each other, and actually that's kind of like my topics are kind of rolling into each other, because having sex with a woman on her period can go into medical concerns, which medical concern can then, eventually even cause you continue to have sex with that person, have a baby that you don't want. Like, it continues to snowball basically. And I know that age is nothing but a number. Okay. People are making stupid decisions at whatever age, I mean, yes, it happens more when we're younger, but some people don't grow up. Some people don't learn lessons. Some people stay, as they grow up, stay mentally 25 forever. That's why you see 50-year-olds wearing backwards caps and their pants hanging off their ass like they don't got no sense, because they still think that they're 25 and you like 55. Like, you almost on Social Security, bruh. Get it together, But yeah, so I think that it's important that we have these conversations, and you have these conversations with your significant other, so you know what to expect, or even just get in their mindset, even if you're not there yet, how they would respond, because I definitely would like to know how a person is going to be when these certain situations arise. Like I said, knowing the person's medical history is important, because I might be dating you for fun or whatever, and you might be like feeling like we in love, and then I tell you that, yeah, cancer runs in my family. You're like, what? Deuces, I'll check you. Peace out. You deal with that by yourself, and it's like, what? I thought we had a love connection. I thought you loved me. I thought you loved me. And they be like, nah. Not even. You were a good lay and you paid my bills, so that was fun. But you talking about real shit? You gotta take care of you? You talking about medical attention that you might? Nah. I can't sign up for that. And they're entitled to that, but at least you would know. And Eddie Gatsby 555 says, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, there's a lot of, you gotta be aware in this world, and that's half the battle, really, is being aware of the people that you're dealing with and having full on knowledge of who you are, and that takes time. People are going into relationships 17, 18 and not truly knowing who they are. And that's cool. And as we develop, we get to know ourselves even more. But the thing is to ask ourselves the hard questions before someone else can ask us the hard questions. So we already know the answer and how we would handle that, so we can speak eloquently and be able to share how we feel about certain things, For me, it's always been a thing, whether or not, and this is like off these topics, but talking about, say for instance, kids, men with children, for me has always been a thing. People are like, oh, as you get older, you are going to meet men that have kids. Is that something that you're interested in dealing with? And for me, personally, no. I'd rather I don't have any children. I'm not bringing a man to that situation. I kind of don't want a man to bring me into that situation where he has kids. Let's both start fresh on our own, kind of thing. And the thing is, I dated men that had children and they didn't work out, and it was mainly due to the parenting concerns. So I realized that that's not good for me, so I don't bother with looking for potential mates that have children, because that's going to be an issue for me, unless they can truly show me that that's not going to be an issue, and they know how to delegate their time properly. It's going to be work. Blended families take work. They do, but you have to know yourself. And am I willing to put that work in? I tried. I'm not interested. I tried to, befriend my boyfriend's baby mother, and the shit was crazy. I was just trying to be kind. I was just, because you're a mom and I support you, and I'm not a mom, and I think that what you're doing, and she spun it in a whole, yeah, no, I'm good. The Cure says lots of work. Yeah, it's lots of work, but you got to know yourself and know if you're able and willing to deal with the work. And so, to that own self be true. You got to know what's going on. And that's why I said these having these kinds of conversations, having discussions, you might take it back to your bros, take it back to your girl, and be like, yo, let's talk about it. Because maybe y'all didn't talk about, y'all medical histories. Y'all haven't even talked about that. Y'all having a good time, or, anything that we have discussed, The Cure says, I feel you, co-parenting factors are huge. Yeah. So I'm not there. I'm not there emotionally to be able to say, to be emotionally able to deal with a woman that's, having to figure out the time management, and that, it's just too much. It's too much. I don't even want to go there, because my mind be hurting. My brain just be like, it was just exhausting. And so, but those that, have kids and have blended families and they make them work, power to you. You crack the code. That's awesome. Not so many people can do that. So, definitely big ups to you. But, you just have to be mindful. And you gotta know what you're getting into, don't take having sex and giving of your spirit and of your energy lightly. People take that very lightly, and I think that you shouldn't. You shouldn't take, think about it, right? When you have sex and you release your load, right? You're spent. That's energy that you've spent, and either you want to take a nap, you might want to eat, you might want to curl up with the girl, or however you want to go. But that's a release of all that energy. And you don't want to just give that energy to just someone that's undeserving. I'm just saying. So, I mean, if you want to give a release, you want to give it to someone that's worthy of it. Night Angel Exodus presents as facts. Yeah. So I know that when I get mines, I'm like, drool, like that was the greatest, So, I mean, I don't want to, have this big, grand orgasm for a person that doesn't deserve it and give all this energy, because then, especially since I'm a Taurus, when we get somebody that punani, we are like, oh, this here, oh, this, I'm yours, you mine. I don't know how you're gonna get out of it, but this is like jail. Like you have to serve your time and stay here for a while. The Cure says energy transfer, you get something back too. No, definitely, you get something back, but it might not be something that you want. So that's what I'm saying. It's important to ask those questions. It's important to find out what you're getting into. I'm sorry, I'm scratching. I did not oil my skin. I just had to come on here and my skin is starting to dry up. Like I said, I just got out the shower, I had the wet hair, and everything like that, which is kind of dry. I hate to go to bed with wet hair. Because, first of all, it's not good. It's not good. It can cause mold and stuff like that. So you really don't want to... I'm not going to cover my hair up. I'm just going to go to sleep with it on my satin pillowcase. But, you shouldn't go to bed with a wet hair. But, yeah. You want to make sure that the person that you're, as even when I think about it, even if you don't force a person to have a miscarriage and everything like that, if you didn't want that child is going to be mistreated their entire existence that they're here until you get over that, Like, it's just, yeah. I don't want to, I want to share with you guys, but sometimes I'm like, do I share too much, I plan on writing a book one day, I can't put it all out here on Instagram, all weird and shit, but, I understand, what it is when, you're not sure that you were wanted, and that's a horrible feeling, to be unsure if you were actually, you were wanted by your parent, I'll give you, actually I will share my personal, because it'll give you a little insight as to like why I'm like sensitive kind of to this subject. But my father had wanted a boy. He is I have 2 older sisters, and he wanted a boy. He wanted a boy really, really bad. The Cure says, can I get a refill? Yeah, I'm almost done. So as we wind down and it gets to 11 o'clock, I finish and it's bye-bye. But, and I think I've told this story before, but I'll share it again. But, my father wanted a boy. And when he saw that I was a girl, he got very, very angry. And he got very upset. So upset that he was kicked out of the hospital. Literally. They had to escort him out the hospital. Now, I later was told this story. Now, I was told this story before I was 16. So, imagine telling this to a young mind, right? That definitely made me feel a way. That made me feel a way about my father. That he didn't want me. That I wasn't loved and stuff like that. These are things that are resolved, so y'all can't come at me with no fucking she got daddy issues. Yeah. No. Me and my father worked out everything before his passing, so y'all can kick rocks with that, okay? But it made me feel some type of way. It made me feel like I wasn't wanted and this, that, and the third, and had me, thinking all these different, negative thoughts, really. And we did discuss it and everything like that. And, he was immature, as so many people are. Like, when he He had his 2 girls. He was looking for, a boy. He really wanted a boy. And to find out that he had another girl was kind of upsetting to him. He didn't handle it the right way. Is he happy that he had me? Yeah, But it was at the time. But imagine how your spouse felt about that. This is her first child. And you have 2 other girls, but this is her first. How do you think you made her feel? He wasn't thinking about that. He was thinking only about himself and how he had 2 prior children that were girls and how this third one was going to be a girl. But my mother, this was her first child. So how do you think she felt as she was giving birth and everything like that for this grown-ass man? Because my dad is older than my mom by a few years. That this man would be wilding out. Right? So you got to think about how it affects the other person. I mean, regardless of the child that, the fetus that doesn't know any better. Because, again, all this stuff that's been going down with Blueface and Krishan, social media stays around forever. So this child is going to know that his father didn't want him at one point. That his father was talking about that his mother was a hoe. How do you think that's going to make that child feel when they get older and they be able to see this information? And, so that's what it's about. It's not even about just how it affects the person that you're in the relationship with, but it can trickle down if you decide to have children and what that would look like. So you just have to be mindful. Like I said, that's the whole thing, is you have to be mindful in what you're doing. And this is no joke out here. Relationships are not for the weak at heart. They take work. They take understanding. They take empathy. They take sacrifice. And it depends on how much you're willing to sacrifice, as much how much you're willing to do in the relationship, because the relationship does require sacrifice. You're not going to be able to do everything that you want. You're not going to be able to get everything that you need. I mean, you hope to get everything that you need, but sometimes you have to fulfill it for yourself. You're not going to get everything that you need out of your partner. You have to have that intrinsically, So, what time is it? It's 10:57. We finished our topics early. So, that's good. That's good. Sometimes it's good. But, I mean, I like to be able to talk to you guys just about, the topics at hand and just, converse with y'all and share a little bit about me. Like I said, I was trying to debate about it, but, it's important that I share who I am so it can bring clarity to the situation on why I bring up these topics, because I feel like they're important. As a marriage and family therapist, I feel like it's even more important, to talk about certain conversations. I wouldn't talk about these conversations in an actual session. It would be like serious, more, in-depth topics. But these things are something that you need to know, and knowing whether or not you're up to handle your partner's medical history is important. Because I can say, am I dating somebody, if they were to get cancer tomorrow, is that something I could really handle? If I know that family struggles with diabetes, and I'm a sugar fiend, I'm going to have to be mindful not to be constantly, try this pie, try this cake, try this. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to fucking kill you. So it's not wise. It's not good. So I'm just saying, you have to be mindful. It's important to know where you want to be in a relationship, in the stage of the relationship. Conversations. Have a conversation. I mean, we are definitely in this, I just fell on your dick culture, we just met and I just landed in the pussy, and I just feel like that's not, the pendulum is going to switch back. Because natural bodies are coming back in and everything like that. So the pendulum is gonna swing back, but it's just going to take its sweet fucking time. But in the meantime, don't get lost in it and stay true to yourself, because that's the main thing. They say, it's in the Bible, live in the world, but don't be of it, So I know that's not quite the exact quote, but y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. Like, live in it, but don't be of it, because it's constantly going to switch around and be different and stuff like that. So what the world is today is not going to be what the world is tomorrow. So just be true to yourself. Be true to yourself, you know. That's all I can say. That's all I can really say. So thank you for supporting your girl. Do buy a gift, do buy a badge. Support my channels, my YouTube, my OnlyFans. Subscribe to my OF. Subscribe to my OF. Subscribe to my IG. And that is it. So thank you for tuning in to Kaynichole After Dark. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. And I'll see you next Wednesday. So stay blessed, stay dangerous, and of course, always keep your crown straight. Have a great evening.